Hello ladies and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. So today I'm going to do a tutorial that Hazel asked for. So Hazel is an audience member. Thank you so much, Hazel, for writing below and asking me to do this on hooded lids. So hooded lids is, I kind of have a little bit of a hooded lid because my lids are so small. And if you look at me straight on, I don't really have much of a lid. But hooded lids are a big subject, especially as you get older and things start sort of drooping on our upper eye. So taking care of hooded lids or being able to make them up in a way that is flattering is a big subject. So we are going to cover that today, specifically looking at what to do with hooded lids. As you can see, I have my other makeup on, so I'm just going to focus on hooded lids. So before we get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshaman.com. Use the code SB10 for 10% off my store. Some of the products I use are found in my store. Also, please subscribe down below and hit the bell in order to be alerted every time I upload a video, which is twice a week. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so to start off with, I've got my tea. Again, it's jasmine tea. I'm a big jasmine tea fan. Oh no, do you like tea? What's your favorite tea? Okay, so to start on hooded lids, I'm gonna fill in my eyebrows just a bit. Eyebrows are really important because they frame your face. They help to lift your eyes up. So I'm just filling out the outer edge of mine. I have a fairly substantial eyebrow. Watch some of my tutorials on eyebrows. I do talk about how to really get that filled in without having it look overly filled in, because if it's overly filled in, it's just too much for your face. You just want to have it subtle. You want to have it all work. And what that looks like for individuals really is something we all have to sort of grapple with and figure out. But for me, I just fill out the outer edge. Okay, so to do your hooded lids, it's really important that you even out all that color in there. Now, I have a lot of discoloration on my lids, so I put concealer all over my lid. I take a brush like this, and I basically just really fill in. I kind of already did it, so I'm going back over the top here. But just to lift that up. Now, if you have crepey lids, I don't recommend this. I think if you don't have a lot of discoloration, this may not be the right strategy for you. However, I think if you don't, and you are using, products on your eyes to help with that crepiness or the dryness, or, our lids can do all sorts of funky things. You can also have oily lids, which causes everything to crease, which isn't helpful. For that, you need an eye base. So whatever kind of lids you have, modify what I'm saying. But basically, because I have a lot of discoloration, I do concealer all over my lid. Now, again, I've already done it. I'm just showing you exactly what I did so that this area is very light, okay? I'm actually popping it out, and then I'm going to add some shading in there in order to make it so that it doesn't look as hooded. Okay, having said that, we're going to use this palette here. This is called Naturally Matte. This is a Jane Iredale palette. This is really, really usable, workable. I love this. I love the gray in there. I'm going to use that quite a bit. Like this, almost any one of you can use this palette of any skin tone. So really excellent palette. These are on my website, by the way. Okay, so we're going to start off with this pink color, the first color there, the pink one. And I'm going to take that, and again, I'm going to use this all over my lid, and I'm going to raise it up. So I think what happens with people with hooded lids is you do that and you stop. Okay, what you want to do is actually pull it up. So you're giving the illusion that you've got more lid than you actually have. So see how I'm doing that? I don't take it all the way up. A lot of people do. I don't personally. I have a lot of space in there, so I don't tend to do too much of that. It depends on how much space you have. So we're raising up what would be my crease. My crease would be like right here, right? But I'm actually lifting it up, and that's one of the great tricks for hooded lids. Okay, so now we're going to use this color right here, which is a pinky color. Okay, kind of a pinky crease color. And I'm going to show you how to raise up your hooded lid. So normally I would say you start where that crease is, right there. You see how I'm looking at that? But I'm going to actually lift it up a little bit, and I'm going to start slightly higher and bring this down over here. Don't go too far in here because sometimes that can pull your eyes in. If your eyes are close set, this is a big no-no, okay? My eyes are not close set, so I can get away with it, but watch that, okay? Pretty much you want to keep everything on the outer edge, but I am bringing it in just a little, just so you can see what I'm doing. So you see that? How much that my lid looks bigger? Kind of cool. And then I'm going to take a really soft brush and I'm going to blend that because I put a lot on just for effect, okay? I'm going to blend that sucker in. I don't know why I say that. Blend that sucker in. I grew up on a farm, so I've got a lot of farm like sort of colloquialisms that make their way into my dialogue. Okay, so see how much that added dimension into my eye. Kind of cool, right? I'm going to do it on the other eye. So you see how my eyelids now are looking like there's more going on. Now you can also, if you get too much product, too much of this color on this, you can go back over it. And just be sure that you've got that space, right? Like you're really creating space in there. This isn't for Asian eyes. Asian eyes is a little bit different than this, okay? So if you're Asian, I'll do an Asian tutorial for you and see how much that has lifted up. Okay, now I'm going to use this gray, okay? I'm a big fan of this gray. I'm going to do a whole video on how to do makeup for gray hair, and that is going to be my main color. I think gray hair is so much fun to do makeup for. Really cool. You can do a lot of really cool things. So this is one of the colors I'm going to use. But today, I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to put it a little bit on the outer edge. Pull this up into this just a bit. But notice I'm really keeping that lid part free. Really going to keep that open. Just pull that in a little bit. It's a nice color, this. Okay, good. Cool. I think that looks really pretty. It's a lovely gray color. All right, now I'm going to focus on my liner, because when you have hooded lids, you want to put more of the focus just around your eye. So I'm going to use this warm color here, the warm brown, with a thin brush, a slanted brush, and I'm going to just really make that focal point, the liner. And I'm going to use that same color and I'm going to pull it a tiny bit underneath, just a super small amount, because you don't want to have your eyes get deeper into your head. You're trying to bring them out, right? So I'm actually going to use black. So this is called Onyx. This is the Mystical Eyeliner from Jane Iredale. Wait, which there's the cover? Oop, I got to take off the not for resale sign. Sorry. Anyway, this says this is Mystical. Really like this. They're basically gel liners. They come with this cool little brush that pops out of the lid. You use this, you can turn it sideways and get a really thin line. So I'm going to go for a really thin line because this is a very dark black. It's onyx, right? So I'm going to pull this. See, I'm going to use this brush sideways. And I'm just going to put it on that outer edge. Just adding density. See how much I'm adding dimension to something? Because what it does is it flattens your face out, right? When you have hooded lids. So we're just going to add this in for just a little bit of dimension in there. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to blend it a bit. Because I really want, again, with older women, you really want things to be super duper blended. Do not want to have lines as much as possible. I got a little bit of line going on here, so I'm going to nuke that. And these gel liners blend really well, but when they dry, they stay on, which I love because everything soaks in on me. I have a really hard time keeping eyeliner on. Literally by midday, it looks like I didn't even put makeup on. I'm one of those. So these stay on me, which made me super happy about this line, actually. It's one of the reasons I started carrying it. So see how much that's really popped those. Now I'm going to do one other thing, not to overwhelm you, but I'm going to take the dark brown here, and I'm going to put a little bit of it just on the outer edge, and bring it up just a bit. So layering your makeup is one of the key things, like layering your colors. So you're not just doing one color. One color is fine, but if you really want to have that dimension, which ends up being missed with hooded lids, right? Because hooded lids, again, they flatten your face. So this is the way I'm sort of constantly building to get it to not do that. So I'm using that darker color, but I'm really careful in how I apply it. So I just dipped the tip of this in the product and then I dab it on my hand just so that I don't have a lot of residue and I can really work with it. Otherwise, you're going to get it all over your face, right? You don't want to do that. And it's going to be really hard to blend if you do that. So there we go. So see how much this has added dimension to my eyes. So that looks really, really cool. But notice I really do work with it. I really work with the brushes. And you might say, this is too much for me to do every day. So just modify it. Modify it into what you would normally do so that it works for you. I already have mascara on, so I'm not going to add any mascara. So this is basically a hooded lid tutorial. So as you can see, I've kept this really open and clean. I've elevated my lid so that the crease starts a little bit higher, and I've made the density around my eyelashes. And that, my friends, is the key to hooded lids. I hope this has been helpful. Please write in your comments down below. Hazel would love to hear from you and what you think of this. Have a great day, and thanks for watching The Beauty Shaman.